the sixth and final finalist in the 11th World Barista Championship, the Barista Champion of the United States, Mr. Pete Licata. As our wonderful judges take their seats.
Yeah, Pete!
Hey Pete.
Hi.
How's it going?
Good.
I'm not going to say a single word. I'm going to let you do your thing. You know what to do. Best of luck.
Okay. Thank you very much. Let's get started. Hi guys. It's an honor to have you at my table today. And I really want to tell you a few things. This year, I started out, with not really knowing what I was doing and not really understanding where I was going to go. And I decided to go and have a pretty simple idea, picking my own coffee cherries. Well, this kind of blossomed into something that I never would have expected. I went out, picked coffee cherries, and as I learned to process all these things that I've done and to roast as well, to get the right flavor out, everything became so much more complicated. It was such a difficult task, but consuming and really inspiring as it all went on. So to share it with you is an absolute pleasure. Now, a couple of notes real quick. The small cups in front of you are for your spoons on the espresso and cappuccino rounds. Please feel free to take notes as I'm speaking, because I'm going to be at the table a lot and I'm going to tell you a lot of things. I have pictures of the coffee as I produced it for you, so you can take a look at it as you can and get to know the coffee. At this point, please take a look at the menu cards in front of you. Really sorry about that, by the way. And see what I'm doing with the coffee. I'll be right back and get some water for my signature drink.
Let's hear it for Pete, guys.
What I'm doing is I'm going to be building you a blend from the ground up. In Hawaii, to get the complexity and all the balance of flavors that I really wanted, I had to work with different processes of coffees. So I started with a red Typica in a honey process, which I find really turns out for a very nice base for an espresso blend. To find it, I went to the Cotton District, which is the southern slopes of the Mauna Loa volcano on the Big Island of Hawaii. The Big Island is the major coffee-producing island in Hawaii. Now, I went to the Rusty's Hawaiian Farm, and the owner, Lori Obra, let me go up to 1,800 feet and pick these coffee cherries. After I picked them and pulped them, I saved the cascara for you today. So I'm going to make a tea with that. But as I was laying this down on these raised screens, I was wondering what happens to that mucilage? What happens to all those sugars that I'm tasting in there? So after drying and pulling this coffee, I saved the parchment that it's dried, the mucilage is dried onto, and this is going to complete this tea that I'm going to prepare for you. Now this tea is the first of two tastes you're going to get in my signature drink. The second is simply just a single shot of this honey coffee by itself, so you can understand the process and the actual foundation that I'm building upon. The concept of this drink is to understand the fruit, the process itself, what that process is doing to the coffee, and how it tastes in the cup. I'm gonna go extract the shots. Here.
The Fridays in the spark. Yeah, I'm looking for some action, and it's out there somewhere. You can feel the electricity all in the air. We just need more of the same. But sometimes you wanna go where everyone knows your name. So I guess I'll have to wait and see. But I'm just gonna let something brand new happen to me. And it's alright. It's alright, it's alright, it's alright. right. You can't say what you won't do, cause you know that you're just mine. I'm alive this evening, it was love at first sight. This Saturday and every Saturday for the rest of my life. And everyone's standing in line. Yeah, looking good and looking for a real good time. So I'll never have to wonder if I'll find someone to share all of this with. And it's alright, alright, it's alright, it's alright, it's alright.
Okay, I'm gonna let this coffee cool for just a moment while I finish the tea. Now when you taste this tea, the first taste of this signature drink, what you're gonna be tasting is brown sugar sweetness coming from the sugars in the mucilage itself. You're going to taste date-like fruit, which is coming from the cascada that's in here, as well as from the drying of that mucilage on the parchment. Last, you're gonna taste some raw grains, and this is gonna be coming from the actual parchment flavor itself. I never realized that the parchment has its own flavor, and that's what that is. Now, I want you to think about what does this do to the actual coffee itself. Well, in a honeyed coffee, you get an increase of perceived sweetness and dissolvable solids for the body. So, when you taste the coffee element, look for a transference of that brown sugar sweetness coming through. There is a kind of a blood orange-like acidity in there, coming from the natural varietal and elevation that it was picked at. And lastly, there's a really nice silky velvety body that's coming from the increased dissolvable solids in the coffee through this honeying process. So in order to drink this drink, please taste the tea first, a little bit warm, so let it cool first, and get an understanding of the fruit and the actual process itself. Then move on to the coffee, which is going to overpower that tea a little. Get an understanding of what this process has done to the coffee and how it tastes as a foundation for the espresso blend that I'm going to be building. I'm going to do 2 new coffees for your cappuccino next. We started with that sweet base in the honey coffee. Now I needed complexity. So I'm using a washed and a natural coffee for your cappuccino today. When you taste, look for some more of that brown sugar sweetness coming through in this cappuccino. Also look for some sweet berry coming from the natural. And then also look for some dry ginger from the